Start recording, and I will count us in. So 3, 2, 1. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to week 8 of Reddit League. We are in Europe this time. There is no better time than to have a French derby than on the European map. Isn't that right, Calamity?
Yeah, it is. It's about as close to France as we're going to get this season. And with the European map, we've also got a map made by the French community. Doesn't seem to be overly French biased in anything. So we might not see any French rounds in it, but still, that's a little bit of that extra. And we've got Boulgour against Orpheus here, which is a pretty interesting game. I mean, Boulgour so far has been slightly underwhelming in Reddit League this season and last season as well. Just always fighting against that relegation spot. This season as well, a bit unlucky, just missing the deadline once. So I wouldn't have gotten points for that anyway, but also not particularly helpful. And he is, though, up there in terms of aces, just two behind Orpheus, who himself hasn't had the most convincing season, but is basically saved by the fact that everyone else is also just very up and down. The midfield of Division 1 very tightly packed together, but Orpheus himself in a pretty secure position up there in second currently. So it's a pretty important game for both of them. I think if Orpheus wins this, he's essentially guaranteed a spot in the top 4, and Boulgour needs some points to keep himself in Division 1.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at this map in more detail. As you mentioned, it is made by the French community for one of their competitions. Average score just under 20,000, 30,000. Are they pretty sure they're hand-picked locations? And it has been played almost 16,000 times. We've been talking to a few Frenchmen about this map. It is kind of a mixed bag. Some of them really like it, but some of them hate it because it is a little bit skewed towards some difficult locations, which not everybody is happy about.
Yeah, Pastek wasn't overly enthusiastic about the map during our show. I don't know, from what I've seen, it's although I wasn't necessarily paying too much attention on any specifics with the locations, it didn't seem too bad. But yeah, we'll see what this seed has on offer for us.
Yeah, just because it is handmade does not mean that it avoids any difficult situations at all. Well, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's jump right into round number 1 between these two Division 1 players. And, well, we at least start off somewhere that speaks English, so that's good for me.
Yep. I would have preferred something else, I think.
Maybe.
But Club Lotto. 3,800 euros. Doesn't really seem like a lot of money.
Well, if it uses euros, that's a big clue right there, I think.
Yeah, true. If some people were still struggling at this point between the UK and Ireland, then that guarantees you it is Ireland, in fact. Yep.
The UK does not use the euro. So, bit of rain as we head in. They're both of them heading in the same direction.
Yep. Going towards the southwest, not in a very populated area, kind of like looks like a bit of a rural town that just strings along the main road.
Yeah, and that movement bug does play a bit of havoc with them, having to click to try to jump through some areas. And there we go. A little bit fixed for them.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Usually it comes and then you're stuck in it for like 5-10 seconds, and then you click through it and then it goes back to normal again, and then it goes bad again, and you can just kind of, well, you just have to deal with it. There's nothing much you can do. Usually it, like, going the other direction isn't going to help because it's going to be there too.
So we've seen a couple local road names and even some numbers, I believe, but really not a whole lot we can start to look at the map for.
Yeah, the L roads don't even show up on the map. They're essentially just very local roads that... Oh, interesting. Orpheus, I think, went back to the start just before he got to where Boulgour is right now. Boulgour, of course, great sign towards Galway and Roscommon.
On the N63, and he chooses the most odd angle to look at that sign from. But he will jump back to the start as well. Try to pinpoint this. And yeah, maybe Orpheus a little bit frustrated. If he can't find a sign in the next 40 seconds or so going north, he's going to be at a big disadvantage. As we can see right there, that Orpheus will pick up, no, sorry, Boulgour, switch screens, will pick up an ace 6 meters away. So once you've
Mm-hmm.
got those two signs, pinpointing that road, not too difficult.
It's not that easy actually. I got that surprisingly quickly, but yeah, he had plenty of time to go, even if it had taken him a bit longer. Not too big of a problem. And Orpheus is running short on time. He's only got about 15 seconds left. And
hope he at least
yeah,
puts a pin down.
went back to the start.
He will just put a pin down in Ireland and call it good. So at least the country is correct. Not much else to look for. On the wrong side of the little island will cost him about 700 points there, 4,299 from him. So already off of a perfect game and quite a bit behind outside of draw range after the first round. Is Europe, I would assume Europe could be a map where you could switch that many points quickly, but in Division 1, I wouldn't put any bets on it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it really depends on the countries you get. And Orpheus just did something there where, you can never really know that, but that is one of the reasons why sometimes people are just like, okay, just go one direction and stay with it. Because essentially Orpheus went to within about, I don't know, 200 meters to great signs, and then turned around to the start and went the other direction and ran out of time about 200 meters before he would have gotten great signs again. So if he just stuck to one direction, he would have found great signs either way, no matter which way he went. But like this, nope, unfortunately, nothing for him.
Yep. Well, let's get into round number 2 then and see if they can make that up in this one. And another rural, this time slightly mountainous forest road.
Yep. And rural Italy is definitely a country where you can make up those points.
SP road sign, but that's, again, very small. They repeat, so not really anything to look for on the map.
Yep, SP for Strada Provinciale, provincial streets/roads. As long as you don't know which province you're in, pretty useless. And sometimes they don't even show up on the map, so that's even better. They're both heading the same way. Something that I employed here, which we don't know if they're doing the same thing because of that, but what I did on that provincial road sign, you saw that there was a free, meaning that you're on kilometer 3 of said road. So what you want to do there is you want to get to kilometer 0, because quite likely there is going to be some bigger junction there. And if you're going to see signs, it's probably there.
Orpheus again jumps back to the start, turns around. Well, there's at least some town names, but I don't know if he recognizes those other than the fact that they are Italian.
Doesn't seem like it.
But that turnaround this time will pay off for him. Again, those same town names. I don't know if he's going to be able to anything else out from those signs.
He's got Leonessa here on his screen. He went off it now, but to his southeast of where he's got the map currently. It's on the screen again.
There we go. So he's got it. There we go. And a few village names as well on a not as nice sign for Boulgour, but yeah, again, I think this time turning around, unless he finds, I was about to say, unless he finds a good sign, then he finds one.
Yep, he's made it to kilometer 0.
And they're the same town names.
Terni and Reti right there. There you go. Now, Madonna della Luce, he saw the town entrance sign for it, and it's right there on his screen. There we go, at this zoom level. Now he just needs to find it. It's currently, unfortunately, going the wrong way. He might be looking for the SP5, but as I said before, in this case, the SP5 is a road that doesn't show up, but does he still not see it? I think he's forgotten the name of the town. Maybe, as Orpheus gets a nice 5k.
He's even forgot Leonessa, which has popped up on his screen several times right there to the north of him. And it looks like it'll be a bit of a reversal with Boulgour not
last
dropping that
second.
many points, but again, just not able to find it on the map, dropping 10 points in this one. So he also out of a perfect game for this one. But yeah, just, good signs. Orpheus is not going to really drop too much there. Just a bit unfortunate for Boulgour not to pinpoint that one.
Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, not necessarily unfortunate, just he forgot the name of the town that he saw like 15 seconds earlier, and well, that made it pretty difficult. He did find Labro in the end, so he knew like the town that was 4 kilometers away, but that obviously with like 10 seconds left doesn't give you enough to be able to pinpoint it accurately.
Yep. Well, both of them have lost their perfect game as we'll jump into round number 3. And it's just about whether or not that 700-point gap or so can be made up for Orpheus. And we start above a major highway, so they're both going to maybe try to jump down and see what they can find.
Definitely more annoying the loss of the perfect game for Boulgour than it is for Orpheus. Orpheus doesn't necessarily need it, but for Boulgour it would have been really useful in a relegation fight.
And looks like trying their hardest to find an on-ramp, but these small side country roads do not seem to connect to that nice highway they get to see.
They don't.
Nice sunny mountainside on this one.
Yeah, they're going opposite directions again.
I can never tell. Is this Spanish or Portuguese? I didn't get a good enough look at that sign. That might not have been enough to separate them.
It's Portugal. I probably wouldn't have necessarily been able to tell you just by that one sign, but where Boulgour is right now, you can see plenty of things that are distinctly Portuguese, such as this sign that tells you, "Hey, you're not too far away from, not too far away from Castelo Branco," which is pretty well known. There it is on the N18 towards Fundão, which is just up there as well, and going west here towards Castelo Novo, which is just to the west of Boulgour on his map. So now he just needs to find an overpass over the highway.
Yep. And it is Orpheus who's still struggling to find any real signs of help. Checking many different ways, but all of them non-fruitful. But still a minute left to go. And it looks like that Boulgour will not be needing that. That overpass looks pretty good. And sure enough, ace for him. There we go. Some few road signs for Orpheus as well, who'll do a little bit of a circle. Recognizes that town as well.
Yeah, they essentially give him the same towns, but with a little bit less information because there's no road names here.
Yeah, so he'll have to position himself without. I think there's also no road number either.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said road names.
I guess a road number could be a road name. It just didn't click in my head that could be the same thing.
It does have the signs towards Castelo Novo and Alpedrinha, which are right there on his map, which are sort of the closer towns, given that they're on white signs and not on the blue ones.
You should be looking for an overpass, so pick one really quickly and just be one off of pretty much unfortunate click. If he would have had maybe another 5-10 seconds, he might have been able to figure that out. But he'll drop 3 points in this one. So again, it is one of them getting an ace Calamity with time to spare, and the other one just not able to quite get it, dropping 3 points this time. Means that 700-point gap is still looming over Orpheus's head. We've only got 2 more rounds to go.
Yeah, gonna be difficult. You'll need 2 difficult rounds, and for Boulgour to make a mistake there. So far, Orpheus just a bit his own worst enemy by choosing to go places that don't have information as quickly. And yeah, as you said here, you would have maybe needed another 10 seconds to be able to make sure what the right overpass would be. But I don't think these 3 points are going to make any difference.
Yep. So we'll jump into round number 4. And, well, this looks very familiar.
Yep. This, well, I don't think the rounds are going to get much easier than this,
Yeah.
which is a bit unfortunate for Orpheus. It was straight away assigned towards Faro, and we'll see. I mean, we're not in Faro. We're somewhere on the N25, close to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, again, back in Portugal, same road signs, recognizable area in the south of the country this time.
Yep. River through the middle of the town,
Mm-hmm.
also very recognizable.
And there's the
And there you
Municipal
go.
de Avira.
Avira. Yep. And
So
there
right
you go.
there. Yep.
That should be it.
And this time it'll be Orpheus who gets it first. Boulgour going to the intersection, going to pick up some more information. There's the town name for him if he didn't have it already. Lots of tourist signs. And there is the EM397 with lots of cities to help him out.
Yeah, he's looking on the wrong side of Faro. Now he's moving over towards the east, and Tavira is pretty big. Like,
yeah, it's
does
right
stand
there.
out, but yeah,
he just didn't see it. I don't. Maybe he didn't recognize that was. I mean, he saw the sign, but did he see the sign? Right, because it was on the screen.
yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean they always take note of it, and it definitely seems like he did not.
And it
Right
does
there
say there
again.
as well, 29 towards Faro.
Being a little
it is
hard.
very
We still got a
big.
minute to go, so he has some time to think about this one. It would be really nice if he could see the town that's right next to him.
Into another sign. There's definitely not a lack of intersections there,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Even if you, there we go.
Finally, he's got it.
That will seem to make it all the gonna fit into place. Very dirty car as well. Figuring a place this beautiful, they would clean their cars, but apparently not. But it'll be enough for an ace for him as well. 3 meters, even gets a bit closer than Orpheus, despite taking quite a bit more time. And it all comes down to one final round, Calamity. About 700 points need to be made up, and we've only got about, 3.5 minutes to do it. So,
yep.
Yeah, as you said, not the round that Orpheus would have wanted.
Definitely not. Even though Boulgour did struggle more than you would have thought, but obviously in 3 minutes, with such an easy round, he's gonna get it eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's get into that final round then. And, well, I was gonna say this could be tough. Then they turned around and there was a sign that easily makes it. Not only does it tell you that it is Romania, but we've got towns, we've got the road number.
Hmm. Essentially, Orpheus has pretty much already kind of found it.
Yeah.
He doesn't quite know yet, but I'm pretty sure he's put his pin right next to the right city. Yeah,
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that the Romanian roads are very well organized. I know the red are. I don't remember about the blue.
Kind of.
Okay.
They're not super well organized, but they follow a general system that is similar to the red signs in sort of the first digits, and within that you can be. It can take you a while to find a specific road, but generally roads with like if you've got like a 281C, a 281A, and a 281G or something like that, they're not too far apart from each other. Generally, and if you've got like a 280 there, then it's likely that the 281 would be somewhere close. It just doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Orpheus pretty much got it. A little bit tricky pinpointing this one, but he'll count the intersection as right, and he will finish very quickly on that one, as we'll still wait for Boulgour to finish up and try to see his final score there. He did get an ace in that final round, but he did went awful fast. Let me try to play that back for you again. I think he's a little bit frustrated. There we go. 24,296 finishing. So
Yeah,
a little bit frustrated with that first round.
Yeah. Boulgour's struggling again to find the right roads, but there we go. Those are closer.
Yeah. The numbers are starting to line up. He's liking it a little bit better, but just under a minute, 45 seconds now.
Yeah, he's got it now. He
There we
should be
go.
close enough, and we'll find the 281C as well.
Oh,
Hopefully, I mean, it's right there.
well, I mean, even if he doesn't, he's not dropping 700 points.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, we can kind of already say that it'll be quite the nice pickup for him. Definitely will help him survive in that relegation battle, and it'll mean that Orpheus will have to wait a little bit longer before he can rest comfortably in that Division 1 playoff spot. Yeah, it's somewhere in here, he says. I don't have much more time.
Kind of.
Oh, I was about to say, he didn't take his click.
Nope.
He found it.
Too late.
He didn't take the click. Wow. Yep. So, yeah, drops 20 points, but he definitely found it. He needed another 1 second in order for that to count. But a very nice performance from him, definitely showing that at least in Europe, he is worthy of his Division 1 spot. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of his final score there, 24,970. Yeah, pretty much was all round number one, especially towards the back end of this seed. No trouble at all for these two.
Yeah, and the good part there for Boulgour is that he had lost 10 points in Italy already anyway. Otherwise, that would have been very annoying there in the last round. So, yeah, at least perfect game was off the cards already.
Very nice. Well, congrats to Boulgour on picking up 3 very nice points in Europe in this French derby. And yeah, we got plenty more matchups to come. We're approaching our last official week before we get into some playoffs for Division 1 and 4 and 5. So you definitely want to check those out and watch the show this week to catch up on all the happenings across the league. Division 2 and 3 got a couple more weeks to go, so you don't have to worry about them quite yet. But especially Division 1, you want to pay attention to that one. Yeah, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Bye.